All right, let me check my sound here. Make sure everything's coming through all right. Looks like things are going all right. Give me a second here. Yep, looks good. Drop this over here so you guys can see what we're working on today. Checking on Ranger Dog down there. It's 104 already in Phoenix, so that's pretty brutal. Let me go look. I'm checking some stuff out real quick on the system here. And give me a second here. I'm trying to find the current stuff that I'm working on over on the YouTube side of things. Alright, I'm trying to find something here real quick on one of my other screens. Give me 1 second here, guys. Alright, it does say that we're live. Turn that on. Hold on. Done. Save. Okay. That's all there. Details look like what I want. Okay, just want to make sure that some of the stuff was going. Hey, Shunyum, how's it going? I am doing good. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up some stuff that I've been working on. We're not going to go through the material right now for the class. I'm going to let the class go in, we got about 2.5 hours, and we'll go over the actual course. But for you guys that don't know, we've got a free Discord that exists out there. We're almost to 3,000 members in it, so that's kind of cool. But down in here, we've got a set of projects, a set of labs that are out there on doing Linux systems administration. And we just started Unit 4. So Unit 4 just popped up today. And we ask questions, and we do labs, and we work through kind of some different assignments and stuff. And we're in 4 of 16 for our weeks. Our weeks look roughly like this. If we go look at our syllabus, right? Here's our syllabus. And if you come down, lab stuff. And we've already done our kind of primer and getting into the system, and then we've done essential tools and storage. And then this week is going to be operating running systems, right? October 2024, right? And we're going to do running these systems. And as we get into operate running systems, we're talking about these topics kind of broadly in the course, but then as we do the actual presentations, we're talking about being a systems administrator. And this week, in about 2.5 hours when we do it, we're going to have a guest speaker. So there's a guest speaker this week. He was a systems administrator for 9 years, and then he moved over, and now he's one of our cloud guys, and he does AI. So he's going to be open for you guys to talk to him about really whatever you want to talk to him about. But that's going to be something for you guys to come and do if you want. These are the future topics. We're actually going to shift over after this week into security stuff, and we're going to start doing the different security roles that an operations and administrative type person finds themselves in. So we've been doing, project, keeping the system running, but now we're going to start keeping the system secure. So we're kind of moving down through, and then there's all this technical stuff that's happening throughout. But let me show you here. Let me give you guys an example. So this is this week, Linux Systems Administration Unit 4. And while I'm not going deep into the topics right now, I do want to show you guys that we've got our announcements, and then we've got what we talked about last week, triaging things and what does triage mean, and then we went and did some exercises in there, and then going and asking about high availability. There were some different articles I had you guys read on that stuff, and then we had our worksheet in our lab. This week, you go and you read about operations bridges and start to answer questions around those, and then you have to make a document. You have to build a document of how you check out a server, right? Worksheets and labs and stuff. Again, we're not doing this right now. I'm showing you this. And then the topics of the discussion are operating running systems. That's the technical topic. And then everything else is about handling incidents. and opening operations bridges, right? So operating and running system, going and checking all these things, and we're going to do some Linux in there. We'll actually, we'll hop in like this during the class, and it'll be, where did I go here? Hold on. What's going on here, system? Yeah, there we go. Clear this up, and then we'll do something like, what's our general system info? It's the type of system we're dealing with. This is the kernel that we're on, and then that would help us to define or find vulnerabilities that we have. fdisk-l would show us all kinds of stuff about the disks that are there. And we're not doing this right now. Yeah, Enzo Bear and Cuddlingus, thanks for showing. But yeah, it's basically a little warm-up session. I'm just kind of showing you guys. I'm not really going into it yet because I want people to come and... Oh, just had a weird like brownout at my house for a second. I'm glad I didn't lose network and stuff. No, what I wanted to tell you guys, though, is that we have a guest speaker coming today. So our guest speaker is one that does a lot of AI, and he wrote the chatbot that we have in the Discord. So if you're ever in Discord and you're like, you're just down in Discord and you say, tell me a story about keeping uptime high on the system, right? And the bot will come back with something. Uptime is lifeblood. I've seen sysadmins killed by downtime. Once we had a server critical for the whole business. It was humming along doing its thing. Some young buck thought he'd update the kernel. Said it'd be a quick 6 sec. By the way, you never update the kernel. You install a new kernel, so that's already hilarious. Said it'd be a quick sec. System went down like a rock. Panic ensued. Lesson learned, never touch a running system. That's actually funny. Regular maintenance, sure, but no unnecessary updates. That's actually a really good... Yeah, I actually showed that comic the other day with XKCD and the downtime, right? If you start cutting systems, the sysadmin's going to show up and start killing people. Yeah. That's my story. Now go away before I revoke your SSH privileges. So the bot's always talking trash. Also, the bot doesn't know how to say my name, so don't mess with the bot in that respect. All right. Anyway, so there's that. Discord's free. You guys can just go into Discord anytime you want and hang out in there. All right, so then there's a bunch of things we can do, right? Like we can do iostat-c, iostat-d, and see different things about the devices. Iostat-xe to only see xv? No, xz. Sorry, xz. And this will only show me the things that are being used at that 1 second. I knew I'd eventually get there. xz. The memory, right? Just see if our system behaves the way we expect. How's it going, Monkey Man? We're hanging out early. I'm just here to kind of let people know that we've got a free Linux administration group, rather. It's in our Discord, and what are we up to? We're up to like 183 people or something. Let me look. I remember when we started this. Oh, it's 185 now, guys. When we started this, we had like 40 people signed up, and I was like, 40's pretty good. I'll be able to grade this every week, and this will be pretty fun. And what happened was everybody was like, that first week we jumped up to 120, and I was like, I can't grade all these, but I still let people turn stuff in. And by like the second week, I had so many items turned in that there was no way in a billion years I was ever going to be able to grade everything. So I just said, hey guys, we're going to do it all at the end. Yeah, it's free, but it's like I tell people all the time, I don't sell easy around here, right? Like some people might think, oh, Scott, there's this free Linux group or whatever, but like I kind of sell hard work, man. Like for a lot of you that have stuck around, I'm not saying this stuff's easy. I'm just saying it's attainable. But most of you are gonna have to go spend some time in there. We can change Discord channels so we can send Discord cheers. Yeah, Xshunyum, I've been trying to keep like. I don't know how like a lot of the cheers, and I don't know how a lot of the Discord stuff works. I've been on Discord for a long time, but I don't like with Discord. I kind of just I don't know how the cheering, and I know a few of us boost the server and that kind of stuff, but like I don't know what any of that other stuff means. Like I don't have anything set up where like where people can like pay or any of that kind of stuff. I try to keep that as free as I can, because like I figure like people will come and they'll hang out, and if they want to do other stuff, they can. But I don't need anybody doing that necessarily, right? Oh, Cassie, how's it going? Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We are not doing the class right now. I'll be recording the class tomorrow. But I was just kind of showing some stuff about this. And again, we can do this kind of stuff in labs and all that stuff later. So really, the goal of this is to talk about like incidents and how do we handle incidents, and then what are we doing in an incident, and what's our activities, and what do we do. Andrew Jones said the invite does not work. I tested the invite just the other day. Should be working. Give me a second here. Let me go look here. Invite not working. Let me see. You said the invite is not working. Hold on. This invite right here. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. Drop it right here. That invite worked for me. Oh, I think the invite worked for me. It dropped me in the rules section. Yeah. So at least in the live one that I'm on right now, it let me, that invite worked. So Ander, you might have to just maybe copy it out of there and put it in a browser, because that's what I just did and it worked just fine. So hold on, I actually need to fix this other screen real quick, because now I can see both windows again. So all right, cool. I couldn't normally see both windows, but now I can, so I kind of like that. Anyway, so, and then we go through, what do you do in an incident? What's our lab tasks for this week? And then questions, right? So this week is going to be going through some of this stuff, working on getting you guys into the systems. Here's what some of the items are going to look like. Obviously, the syllabus. The syllabus you can always go to and say, okay, this is what we're doing for this week, right? But then within the system, there's also, that's different. There's also the worksheets. So the worksheets are, fill out this worksheet. And I used to say send it to me, but now it doesn't say that anymore. And then this is our discussions for the week. Like, read this article about an operations bridge and tell me what's going on with that. Oh, X Shunyam, I think I turned the claps and crickets stuff off, not on purpose. No. The reason, so Exunium, the reason we can't do the Discord like that anymore. Let me show you guys. Hold on. This is important that you asked that. When you're in Discord, guys, and you come down here to, like, we were originally doing in Linux chat. Well, we found that once you get over 25 people in a channel, nobody can turn their cameras on anymore. So that's fine. But then we found out, okay, that's cool. We can go, and we got to about 60 people. And once we got 60 people in there, it just wasn't working well. So then we jumped over and we made a conference channel. And once we had the conference channel, we could fit 100, and I think the most we've had in there is a little over 100 people. And that's worked fine for everybody. So yeah, Exunyum, we couldn't do a normal voice channel with that many people. Which, hey, I love breaking stuff on Discord. I love the fact that you can go and look at the event and see that, like, we literally couldn't fit everybody in there. And that's one of my favorite things that has happened. My other favorite thing that happened started happening last week. And I tell people it's that, like, right now, and, I don't want to call anybody out, but we just got one person sitting down in a Linux channel. But the other day when we got done with our conference, when we got done with our system, there was probably like 8 or 9 people in Linux chat, and then they hung out in there for a couple of days, and I saw them, like, you can see what people are looking at. And I saw those people going in there and working through the labs together. And I was like, this is exactly what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to spend time in these systems and kind of understand what's going on. So, working through this stuff together is perfectly acceptable to me. In fact, I think it's one of the best things that could possibly happen, right? So, anyways, Unit 4 Discussion 1, this is all up in the Discord. So if you were to go to the Discord and go down to the projects, you would find that I had already started discussion post 4.1 for this week, and then discussion post 2 for this week as well, right? And the first one talks about an operations bridge, and you go tell me, what are you learning? What pro seems important and why, and which con seems the most costly or difficult to overcome? Because they give pros and cons here. And then down here, you're in the middle of an incident. And I tell you guys all the time that when you're in the middle of an incident is the absolute worst time to try to learn anything. Trying to figure out how to use a tool when you're in the middle of a downtime is absolutely atrocious because people are asking you questions and you're getting bombarded with stuff. It's a bad time. It's a bad night. You get called out in the middle of the night. That's there. I'm seeing that the link's broken, but guys, I just used the link and it worked fine for me. Can you guys hold on. I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is what I see right here, right? You guys see this? This is inside of my little YouTube streaming channel. And I can grab that link right there. You guys might have to copy it like this. I can grab that. HTTPS, Control C. I'm going to move that back over here out of the way. Right, so it's out of the way. I'm going to take that Control C I just did. And I'm going to go drop it right here. And it's dropping me right into Discord. All right. If it's broken, it's broken. All right, give me a second. Works for you in a private window. That's interesting. So that's one way to do it. The other one, and like I don't ever think anybody's being. I mean, sometimes people could be being nefarious, but I don't ever think people are trying to be nefarious. But it seems to me like yeah, sometimes there's other things going on. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't want anybody to feel like they're not invited, but that's super weird that that's happening, because I definitely set that link to be forever. That link should be, but I keep copying it from an old one, so it's possible. This is like the weirdest channel too. Like the thing that they drop you guys into. I apologize if you guys have to like do something there. Maybe we need to update that channel or whatever. But yeah, people are getting in now, so that's good. All right, yeah, because I don't want you guys to not be able to hop in and do stuff. Then our second discussion post is, you don't have any documentation around an incident, so now you need to go write some. And I say you can use AI if you want. You can use a cheat sheet off of the SANS.org. This comes from SANS.org originally, the Zeltzer information, so you can go there. And then we got a bunch of definitions and terminology that we're going to talk about and notes that you can take. And then we get into the project, guys. So this week, I'm finally opening up the project. We've been talking about the project for a while, but until Unit 4, I didn't have it all written out. So I'll show you guys what the project is. I'll give you guys a little early taste of it. And by the way, nothing's really early, because if you come into the class, if you come into the project section, I've already released the project. So you could download the project right now and do it. Also, for people that want to do the worksheets but don't want to use Word or open LibreOffice, I send them to you in fully text version as well, in case you guys need that. So, okay. Yeah, I hate that there's that workaround that we have to do. I'd like you guys to just be able to get in. But let's go look at what the project's going to look like. Oh, and then there's some digging deeper, and I have you go look up what a battle drill is and why is it important to practice incident handling before an incident. Why is it important to understand your tools before an incident? These are the things that we were just talking about. And then some questions here. And have you been getting better at note-taking? Because I think some of you that have been doing this with us, you're getting better at note-taking. I've been watching people post down in the Discord, and I think that people are getting better at what we're talking about and grabbing concepts and ideas out as we go, because like I can't take notes for you. Only you can take notes for you. Only you can say what you don't know well, right? So anyway, so we come back over here, and let's look at the project. This is the first time anybody's looking at the project. This is the first time any of you guys are looking at the project unless you downloaded it. So this is the final project for the 16-week course. We're in week 4 right now, guys. So you've got 12 more weeks of working on stuff. I'm going to keep pumping stuff out. We're going to keep having guest speakers. We got a guest speaker this week. He's really good. He's been around a long time. He's also a streamer. But he's also somebody who's worked up for, I think he's been in the industry like 16 years. And he's been doing Linux. And he's been doing cloud and AI. So if you want to get in there and ask him questions about, one of the first talks he ever did with us, probably about over 2 years ago now, was when he got a job with one of the big FANG companies, Mang or whatever you want to call him now. He works for, one of them. And he came and he talked about the process of getting hired. So he could probably, if anybody's super interested about that, he could give you a rundown of what that looks like, right? So you guys are welcome to ask him about anything. He'll probably tell you just about anything you want to know. Also, if you are during that course interested in doing stuff, you should follow him anyways. There was just a shout out over on the Twitch side. He has a YouTube, but I don't know if he's streaming on YouTube as yet. Not. X Shunyum, it's really hard to record streams. I don't know if you know that, but like, I mean, if you just put, it's not hard to record streams on your own system. What I'm saying is like if you send stuff up to Twitch and you're only an affiliate, it only stays there. So if you don't know this, it only stays there for 14 days. So I don't know why he doesn't. If he doesn't have that turned on, it might be something that affiliates have to eventually turn on, unless you have Turbo. If you have Turbo for some reason, I don't know why they do this, but if you have Turbo, it stores your VODs for 60 days. So you might go, oh, Scott, his VODs stay for a long time. Yeah, it's because I happen to have Turbo because I hate watching commercials. I don't watch commercials on Twitch ever. In fact, if I'm in a stream and they pull up a commercial, like some of you guys probably have seen, like when they have like big showcases or something, they'll pull up commercials. I'll leave the stream. I don't watch commercials when I pay $11 or $12 a month or whatever for Turbo. I won't do it. He has some they threw up there. Yeah. By the way, if you guys don't know, we have one on Twitch, or we have one on YouTube that he did when he came and talked to our group here. So, yeah, I know he's got it set up for YouTube, so he should be on YouTube soon. But you guys feel free to ask him that when he comes and talks to us in about 2.5 hours. So, anyways, let's look at the project real quick. So select a topic to research about a project that you are going to build. So find something that's interesting to you. And these are all, I mean, look, this goes without saying. It's around Linux, right? It's system stability, system performance, system security, monitoring, Kubernetes, programming, something in the Linux space. One of our guys is already doing a really cool project. He was doing it as we started, and he's the one that he put together a really nice, solution for us to have the being able to show that you guys actually really did the course. Like, because one of the things I didn't want to do, hold on real quick, let me show you guys something here. I'm trying to fix my microphone. We didn't want, if you guys came in here and went to, hold on, let's go to our Linux group and let's go to streaming and images, and then let's say that you, where's our certificate? Yeah, so I'm going to release these as blue. Maybe I'll give people an option for orange. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make a little scanner here, and you're going to be able to scan it, and it's going to go and it's going to show that you actually completed this course, right? And I'm going to only release the blue one. But let's say somebody grabbed it right now and just put their name on it and just faked my signature. That's not my signature. That's Thomas Edison. But we'll put my signature on there. And you know, these things, they'll be worth something to the people that did it. You know, they might not be worth anything to somebody else that just steals it, but they'll be worth something to the people that did it. Where I'm going with that is you're going to be able to go and authenticate forever that that's your system. You can view VODs from 2 months ago. Oh, nice. Well, good. So you guys can see where Fisherman's at. That's good. He's going to come. He's going to talk to you a little bit about it. So here's our instructions, right? You're going to plan the project. I might even add to this a little bit, but plan the project, find documentation or similar projects to build off of what was done there. And then you're going to document. You're going to give a first pass and what does it take to build this all out. You're going to diagram and draw the thing out as you build it. Then you're going to build it. You're going to get screenshots, make a video, basically prove that you build it. Then you're going to finalize your documentation. You're going to redline your documentation, which means fix it and walk through it like somebody with no knowledge of a thing. And then you're going to prepare to present it, 15 to 20 slide deck on what you did. What's the project purpose? What's the diagram? What's the build process? And what did you learn, right? Do I have any other ones? Oh, and then how are you going to apply this professionally, right? And then again, the last one will be, do you want to present? Let me know and we'll get you a slot in the last couple weeks of the course, right? So that's what the project's going to be, right? And then your deliverables for the project is build project documentation that works in either our Prolog labs on one of our nodes or in the Killer Code environment. You got to use one of those two environments because I'm going to build everything. I'm going to make sure it works. You'll do a diagram of what you built. This will be both physical and logical representation of the system if applicable. And then examples of the running system, screenshots or other proof that you built it and showed it in a running state. And then you're going to do a 15 to 20 slide presentation of the materials as you would present to a group. You do not have to present to us, but you could if you wanted to. And this will be a project when you're done that you could put into your portfolio, because some of you guys that are doing this course with me, you don't feel ready to go do this for the industry, or you don't feel like you have enough to sit across from a table of people asking you about systems work. Well, you're going to be able to prove that you know how to do this stuff. This is a big systems administration point, right? This is even starting to get over into the engineering side of things. We plan things out and build them in practice and all that stuff. So, okay, so that's what we're doing for week 4. That project's going to run all the way to the end, right? And look, then we have incident response. So we're learning about incident response this week, but we're going to have a whole section on it at the end with an actual incident call out and information gathering and those kind of things to practice, right? So we're going over a lot of the topics, multiple layers as we kind of go through this. So again, hopefully this stuff's useful to you guys. This is what we're doing here, right? All right, so let me get that out of the way. This stuff's all up in the Discord, guys. Like I tell you guys all the time, if you jump into our Discord and you just come in here and you load up everything like in a backpack like a cartoon villain and then leave, I mean, we're gonna not be happy that you left, but you're welcome to take all this stuff and use it for yourself. Like go in there, grab all this stuff and work through the projects, right? The worst thing you could do is learn something. Maybe you learned something. I used to always tell like my college students, I've had a policy my 16 years of teaching college that I will let you take a test. Like if you mess up on a quiz, I will let you retake that quiz for up to full points every time. Did you guys have any of you ever had a college professor that does that? I will always let you get 100% on all the quizzes in my class. Even if they're like 20 or 30% of the grade, you can get 100%. But listen, when you turn that quiz back in the second time, let's say you get 50 the first time. And you're like, 50% of them, I can redo it. And you redo them for me. You have to write up why the right answer is right. I do not give a damn why the wrong answer is wrong. There's literally an infinite number of wrong things. There's only one right one. The only thing I care about is that you write up why the right answer is right. And then you go, well, you know, why? Again, so that we don't focus on the bad thing. And 2, because I might just trick you into learning something, right? Oh yeah, I've always done that. My whole career, there's 2 things that have never changed in my college teaching. 1, I have never given extra credit. And 2, you can always do my quizzes again. Any quiz. You just have to write up why the right answer is right. So you're like, oh man, I had to write a whole extra page, but you got all your points. You got 100. You got 100% in that section. That doesn't work on the final, unfortunately, because I can't give you time after the final, obviously. But you'll find that you know all the answers because you know. But I feel like a lot of times, like any of these courses, and this is a question I asked in week 2. How do you feel like your time management's going? Because here's the thing, you're the only one who can correct problems with yourself. Did you guys know that? Did you know that like you could come to college all the way up through your doctorate, and if you choose never to like make a change, I couldn't force you to make a change if I wanted to. I've told you guys this. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I can break every bone in most people's body. I can choke them all kinds of different ways. In game, I have to say in game. No, I literally can do that though. But I couldn't make them learn stuff if they didn't want to. Right? So my point in saying all that is you guys should come around and hang out. Yeah, you can lead somebody to water, but you can't make them actually drink. Fair. So anyway, so where I'm going with this is not to be confrontational, but look, you guys have all this stuff you can keep working through here. And then one of my favorite things about this is even if you're not involved in the course, if you were to come over here and search later and say, oh man, I wonder if these guys have ever talked about SE Linux here. Can somebody help me out with SE Linux? Yeah, in-game. You got to say in-game or it's illegal. But SE Linux, right? Even if you've never done this, you would get all of these cool write-ups that people did for the course. So, like, this is a happy little accident about all this. I did not mean to do this. Like, I did not think, like, oh, hey, we're going to have a whole big old indexable thing for us to search through. But, yeah, like, if some of you guys went and what's one we just did? Like, we were doing... like raid, right? So if you came in our system now, if you came in here and you're just, man, I need somebody to give me some pointers on raid, you would have all of this stuff about raid that wasn't there before we had like a big long set of threads on it. So I really like that, like, you guys can get in here and do all this stuff. So anyway, so this is what the course is kind of shaping up for. You know, we always talk about last week, so you can think about triage and and how did you do, and did you not even get in there, and do you need to go in there and catch up, right? One of the things that you get here that you don't get in a college class is I'm gonna let you catch up, right? We're in week 4 starting today. In a few hours, we're gonna be in week 4. The recording for week 4 will be up tomorrow, and then you're gonna be like, man, I'm so far behind, but you can run and catch up. There's people working on this stuff that'll probably help you, because you're going to find that, like, as you explain this stuff and help other people out, you're going to learn it better. So yeah, this is like me trying to get you guys into systems world, right? Get you guys into doing this stuff professionally, because I know that you guys can do this stuff, right? There's no doubt in my mind that any one of you can do this. But again, while it's free, I am selling hard work. It is not easy to do this stuff. When I say it's not easy, what I mean is you have to spend time. You have to spend mental energy. You have to sit down. Guys, I was building all this stuff today even. This stuff today, I always finish it up on either Friday night or Saturday morning. And I have to spend mental energy. And by the way, as an engineer, I have to spend mental energy to build stuff. And you're tired in a different way than you are if you go and break rocks all day. By the way, when I was younger, I was an infantry guy. And I was also a roofer when I was in my teens. My uncle owned a roofing company, and I did roofing every summer in Phoenix all through my high school years. So I understand hard work, and I understand, like, working with my brain or my body. But I can tell you there's a different type of tired that comes from spending time. Like, because I love to sit around and just watch, Hulu and Crunchyroll and all that kind of stuff. You guys see all that stuff when I pull up my browser. You guys see my Crunchyroll and all that stuff. I love all that stuff. But I don't have to spend any mental energy for that. I can just sit there and veg out. This stuff, making a change, breaking where you're at, and getting to something new takes energy. Yeah, we got a lot of people in there discussing and making posts and stuff like that. So, all right. So, what else could we do today? We have, while we're kind of hanging out and waiting around, we have more of this stuff to go over. Let me pull up a little Ranger cam. Look at Ranger. Gosh, that dog. We've been going through this. This is real job duties and real job skills that actual jobs are asking for. And we've been going through and writing up the things that I think that you need to kind of go study and spend time at, right? We had just gotten down to here yesterday, so we'll just kind of start here. These are also notes, guys. These are all notes up in our Discord. And I think where we put these in Discord was in our job posting stuff. So let me show you guys this. We got our job postings and interviews. And there's job fairs and stuff. People post stuff in here. But the last time I updated this was right here. And these were, I've actually added some to this since then. So I need to update this again. Probably delete it and redo it. But there's a whole bunch of these, like, things to go study and look at. Napal, yeah, hopefully this stuff's good. By the way, that little speech-to-text thing at the bottom, people ask sometimes where it comes from. That is literally in presentation mode of PowerPoint. You have the ability to just turn on or off your closed captioning. So I actually use this when I teach. I use my PowerPoint in closed captioning mode so that my students understand what's going on. But hopefully it's good for you guys as well. Yeah, I mean, the goal is to show you guys how to do this stuff and show you guys that you can do it. So let's pull Ranger Cam up again. Freaking that dog. Okay, so if you were to implement and maintain security measures to protect Linux systems from unauthorized access, malware, and other security threats, I would tell you need to know about how to build new servers, right? And then what are some of the best practices for securing those? There's the CIS benchmarks. By the way, you can download the CIS benchmarks whenever you want. Is there something similar in Mac for closed captioning? Xshunium, I'm not sure. I don't know. Guys, by the way, Ranger's almost 14. He is an old dog, but he's a really good dog. And he likes to lay with his face on the tile because it's 73 degrees down there, which is nice and cool. But he likes to put his face on the tile to just feel like the coolness of it. Even when he lays, like, with his head here in between the beds sometimes, because the beds slide around, he'll lay with his head and he'll put his nose down on the tile because he just likes to breathe. But yeah, he's a good dog. He's old. He's having a hard time. Like, he's just, like, stands on shaky legs now. So I'm a little worried about him. I don't want him to slide on the tile, which is why we had bought him this carpet a while back. But he's a good dog. Anyways, then there's the STIG standards. The STIGs are the Secure Technical Implementation Guidelines. You can go download these anytime from the government, from the U.S. government. These are free. And then it's like, well, do you turn on FIPS, which is the Federal Information Processing Standard? And when you turn on FIPS, when you turn on FIPS, you start to introduce a lot of additional cryptography that has to happen, and you do slow down the performance of systems. This is a truth of running FIPS, is because you're using stronger cryptographic standards, it does slow down the processing. We don't turn FIPS on inside of high-performance compute systems because high-performance compute systems tend to be air-gapped, and in the air-gapped kind of internal, let's think of the internal part of a high-performance compute system kind of like the racetrack. We want everything in there to drag race as fast as it can. We don't run FIPS in there. We also don't run SE Linux inside of there. On the edge devices, we do turn these two things on. And I've shown you guys how STIGs work. If you need to practice doing STIGs on a server, I have two places you can go, two labs that I've built. And we've been over the labs. When we do our Linux group, by the way, this is another thing to note. I try to tell you guys this so everybody knows. If you do want to show up to the Linux Systems Administration group, I do not spend a lot of time in my labs. Yeah, we do HPC stuff in Kubernetes, absolutely. Well, so we put Kubernetes on high-performance compute systems for certain workloads, Xshunium, yes. But like Slurm and some of those other job schedulers, they don't necessarily work with it. Anyways, here's our labs. OS STIG report of a server with the SCC tool, and then a Firefox STIG report of a server. Oh, by the way, Occident Pro, I missed your resubscription. I do appreciate that. It keeps me motivated, keeps you guys from having to watch ads, so that's always good. That's pretty, it's beneficial both ways, I think. Although I did just recently see that like people on mobile, man, they're moving that subscription up so expensive. I'm like, man, why wouldn't people just go with Turbo? Like for me, it's Turbo. An annoying message, unclaimed account shows up. John Doe, are you talking about inside of Killer Coda? Killer Coda is free. You guys can sign up for it for free. You can use Google. And then once you're in there, you just come to one of these. So I'm going to link this to you guys that want it. I'll just link it to both of your group chats over there. Let's see, it showed up on both sides. Good. And then I'm not going to go through it right now, but it walks you through. Your team is to integrate with the U.S. government system. There's a security requirement that you need to STIG your servers to a certain score. Yeah, the course is all free, D. Yep. The course is, if you go down in our Discord, and then once you join our Discord, you drop down here to the Prolog projects. We are in week 4 of a 16-week course that I've been building, yes. Completely free. We've recorded the first 3 weeks. I'm going to record week 4 tomorrow. And then you can come in here and start doing the discussion questions. I'm running it a lot like a college course. I mean, I've run college courses for 16 years now. That's how long. Actually, well, you know, I'm a little ahead of myself. In December, it will be 16 years of being a college professor. So, anyways, so it's free. Yeah, down our Discord. And Robodom's given the link there for people that want it. Also, Robodom, will you click on that link and make sure... Actually, I'm going to click on that link and make sure it still works. Yeah, that invite works. Okay, good. Okay, that one worked. So that's good. So Prolog projects. Also, people have asked me, there's been a couple people the last few months that have been like, hey, if I'm doing these, can I share myself doing these? Or can I share myself doing these on YouTube? And I was like, 1, I wouldn't even know how I would stop you. And 2, yes, you could do whatever you want. So if you went to Killer Code, like, look, if you wanted to learn like the CKA or the CKAD topics, look at all this certified Kubernetes stuff here. There's so much stuff for you guys to come in and learn on Killer Coda for free. And if you wanted to record yourself doing that on YouTube or Twitch, absolutely, please do. You know, please do it. And some people even, you know, I don't care if you post it in like the general or whatever and say, hey, you know, I'm going live if anybody wants to hang out. It's perfectly cool. Linux administration would teach you a lot of the stuff, D, that would get you ready for like computer engineer and embedded Linux type stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, so I am a Linux engineer, but I show people right now the administration side of things. And then I also show people a lot of times on stream, I'll do the engineering stuff. So yeah, And by the way, there's like a really fine line. I show you guys this. Let me show you this. This is my little drawing for it. There's a design thing from what are they called? Cisco, and it's called PPDIOO, like this, right? And let's change that to white. And PPDIO is the standard. Let me back this out a little bit. So PPDIO, which is the prepare plan, PPDIO, prepare, plan, design, implement, operate, and optimize. And most people that start as a Linux systems administrator start over here on the left. Sysadmins tend to start over here. You're in the operations and optimization phase. Somebody before you built a network and a set of systems, and then it comes over here, and now you're operating and optimizing those systems that are already running. Think of it like, you know, this is over here in the plant for like Chevy or Ford, and this is you over here operating and running a fleet of vehicles already built, right? Do you need to know a lot of stuff to be a mechanic? Sure, you absolutely do. And do you need to know a lot of stuff to like keep the lights on and to run your NOC and your SOC, your network operations and your security operations center? Sure, you do need to know a lot to be administration. And then what is this? There's a probably I was saying like there's a problem. How do we fix it? But then we come up here to optimize and how do we do things better? But then systems engineers tend to be over here doing what's called like the project work of preparing, planning, designing, and implementing new technologies. And this is kind of, as systems engineer, does some percentage over here. Like when I started my career, I was probably like 80% over here and 20% over here. Now in my career, I probably spend 60 to 70% of my time over here, but I still spend 30 to 40% of my time as a sysadmin. And you go, Scott, really? They're paying you good money and you're still doing sysadmin work? And I say, yeah, because we still got to keep the shit running. Look, it won't say it. It won't say the bad word. Keep the blank running. I've told you guys, this closed captioning, I'll try to swear every now and then, just messing around. It doesn't do it. So it doesn't take my swears. So hopefully that helps you work it out, D, because yeah, like for computer engineering and embedded Linux, this stuff is exactly the kind of like high level knowledge you would need. And then from there you would dig down in more to whatever specific implementations and drivers and versions of Linux that you might need to install. But in this systems administration course, I don't make you guys install the Linux, but I do have you see the process of how it boots and then how it runs and all these kind of things that I think you guys need to know how to do, right? As just in the whole ecosystem. And this, again, this PPDIO, it's a Cisco technology, or it's a Cisco idea, but it works so well for all types of deployments. It's originally a network design one. And then RoboDom gave you guys the link to the book. I will give this disclaimer. The book is there. You guys are welcome to buy it if you want, but the book is not required for the free course. The free course is a free course. You guys just hang out, and the using the book is something separate from the course, just so everybody knows. Is there a specific Linux distro we're using? So in the labs, we use Rocky 9.3. And then in Killer Coda, we use Ubuntu 22. I'll tell you here. I think we use 20. I don't think we're up to 22 yet. So hold on. Let this thing boot up a plain old Ubuntu. Whoops. 2004. So we're still on 2004. And that'll move forward eventually. But in the labs, which you guys all have access to the Prolog labs, everybody that's in the Discord, we've got 19 Rocky boxes, which, by the way, next week we're going to be shifting them towards, they're going to start being used to scan and do reconnaissance against these nodes here, the blue and the red nodes, because we're focusing, starting next week, the focus of the course shifts to security. So see how we're starting to do more security stuff? And while we're going to learn how to manage users in groups and manage firewall stuff and manage patching, and these are the technical things I'm making you do, we will also be doing what's called the MITRE ATT&CK framework. So if you guys are familiar with MITRE, so if you go to attack.mitre.org, if you've never been on this site, this is a fun one. This shows you how attack vectors work against any type of system. This is what's called the attack kill chain. Some people call it the attack kill chain or the miter attack. Oh, when's their conference? Ooh, is this a free conference? I love when I find free conferences. Let's see if they got a free one. Nah, this is an on-site one, so it's not going to be free. But do they have free virtual? No fee to attend virtually. This is going on the Discord. Anytime I find one of those, I always do this. Free online. I'll have some type of present for anyone that attends and gives us a write up of what they learned. I'll do something like typically what I do for like a present, if anybody goes and attends that and then does like a write up for us, my presents tend to be like a humble bundle. I'll just buy you a humble bundle. So, and I don't normally, if it's on stream or something that you guys find something, I will it'll be tech related. Oh no, Hack the Planet. I never set up my own Excalidraw. No, I've never I never bothered to do that. I did set up all my own Werewolf though. So this is all Werewolf. All my stuff in my home lab is mine, obviously, but I use Werewolf and Rocky for all that stuff. So where else were we at? So we were talking all these different things that are out there for you guys to do. Yeah, and the specific Linux distro is just either an Ubuntu generically up there or Rocky in our environment. Zen versus Proxmox. Xshunium, I think a lot of people like Proxmox because it's got some more support for your Ansible and your Terraforms. I just use the Zen, which is XEN in this case. I use XCP-NG, which is a fork of Zen. XEN. I got to say that because that thing's going to use the word Zen, which means to be at peace. But anyways, XEN instead of XCP-NG. What happened was it forked off of XEN. And when XEN went to Oracle, XCP-NG kind of still existed. So Proxmox is kind of the way a lot of people that want to do industry stuff should be going, because a lot of companies, this actually came out the last few months, a lot of companies are moving off of VMware and they're going to Prox type stuff. Oh, Cassie, oh, that's pretty cool. The Humble Bundles can be really good sometimes. When No Starch one pops up, I always try to snag it. Yeah, let's go look. Humble Bundle. Yeah, what, sorry, and by the way, Cassie, if you need to link anything to me, you either have to let Robodom know or just go drop it in Discord. If you guys tell me, hey, go check general for Discord or something, I'll go in there and I'll look at, you know, something and I'll grab it, because it just blanks out whatever people send. That's like it's like a security setting inside of inside of the thing. So there's a software architecture one that's probably good. Cybersecurity. Ooh, cybersecurity. Is that one new? What's going on in there? Cisco Prep. Some people were asking about Cisco Prep stuff. Publishers page. Oh, nostarch.com. I see. No Starch. And then they sometimes have, yeah, some of these serious cryptography. Some of these have been around a long time. I have a. I wonder the finest in geek entertainment. That's kind of cool. I wonder if this is one of those ones, because I do LeanPub. We are down in LeanPub, if you guys don't know. I can see any books that I've published, or I can go to like our book. This is our book here, and actually one of our guys built this. So like the book is the only thing around here that's not free, but you guys are welcome to hang out for free. Obviously, the book's just something that, you know, we put together, and it's a little bit more than the other stuff. It's a little bit more than just being in one of these. It's like a little more, I think of it kind of like a journal. So it gives you questions to go deeper on some of these labs that we built. So, all right. Oh, look at Ranger there. Look at Ranger with his head hidden down. All right. So we got to build new. We got to maintain. We got to go look at stuff. If I were to pull this up here and just look at like any one of our Rocky boxes, right? So our Rocky boxes are in the lab. Let's just go to like Rocky 10. I always pick a different one because I never know where somebody might be there. Somebody's managed to get in here. So people have been jumping. Actually, these are all me. And then in the last 6 days, yeah, those are all me jumping in, except for this one. Root jumped over. Okay, so somebody's been in here. So now I actually want to check is df-h. Yeah, so somebody came in here and added. Actually, we got some container stuff running in here, right? So whatever kind of container stuff's running in here. D said, when do you guys meet to study the weekly content? We meet on Saturdays, so we meet today in a couple of hours. Actually, just under 2 hours. We meet on our Discord. There's an event that is up to 188 people. The most we've had in there, I think, was just over 90, now that I think about it. It was 90 the first week. Last week, it was 48, and the second week, it was 50. So I'd like that number to be over 100, but we've got a guest speaker coming today, so this guest speaker works for one of the big FANG companies, or MANG, as people like to call them. He also does a lot of cloud and AI stuff. So, but this, by the way, this shows in my time locally, so this is a couple hours from now. For some of you, it's going to show it'll show in your time when you're on your Discord, looking at it. So, all right. So anyway, so there's all this stuff for you guys to go look at and mess around with. And you guys, again, you're welcome to go hang out down in the voice channels. Again, people were down in the study groups, and later on you can come to study groups and you can see the links and stuff that people were posting. So you might miss the chat, but you can go get at all the tasty data that are still there, So there's a lot of stuff. This is one of my favorite things about running this, is like all these things are there for you to go find out more information about. So what's our opinion on building stuff like bootloader or hobby OS from scratch? I got no problem with that, Ander. When I was younger, when I first started in Linux, I used to build my own kernels and boot my own systems up just to see if I could do it. And it's fine. I tell you guys all the time, like, we're all hobbyists here, so we all do this stuff for fun in some way. But one of the things... yeah, I'll link it. Hold on. It's attack.miter.org. See if that works for you, Northern Chimp. Should be attack.miter.org. And then you probably wanted that link to their con. So here's their conference. So hold on, here's the conference if anybody wants it. I'm gonna link the conference for you guys that want it. And again, if you do that conference, which is free, it's free to do it virtually. If you guys go do this conference, and then do a write-up for me of like what you watched and what was interesting to you, I will do some kind of thing on Humble Bundle, right? Because the goal of this group is to get you guys more involved with this stuff. Actually, no, I'm gonna go drop that. That's such an important thing. I'm gonna go drop that in my company Slack right now. So in our free, we run a Slack from work. I'm gonna go drop that in there. So that's a free conference on cybersecurity, right? If you go, I'm gonna put if you go virtually. Virtual attendance. Right. So free conference on cybersecurity if you go virtually. That's what that is, and that's awesome. If you go and for me. It's funny, I actually could go as industry, academia, or I can go as U.S. government because I work with NOAA, which is the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Agency, NOAA. So I work with them, so technically I could register as that if I wanted. But that's kind of cool, like, what is it, a 2-day conference? Actually, I remember recording the comments only later to realize to say, yeah, I actually remember when we first started using those comments. But if I'm on this Rocky 10 server, I'm just going to pull some stuff up here over here on the maintain servers, right? So I'm going to clear this up, and I'm going to say ss-ntulp on the server, and I'm going to see that this server is doing some things, right? The server is running some things. It's doing some things. I can see the ports that are open. Also, since we've seemed to have some kind of other stuff going on, I'm going to look to see, do we have, if I do a docker ps... looks like somebody's running Nginx Alpine on here, so that's good. That means somebody was on here doing some lab or practicing something. I'm not going to reboot this server on anybody because maybe they're going to come back and use it later. But typically I'll be rebooting the labs at least once a weekend. Maybe during the class I'll reboot all the labs so they all go back to, because they all come up off a container image the same, you know. But anyway, so I'm in here and I could start to do like ss-ntulp, and then I compare that to my system baseline and I go, you know what? We're really not supposed to be running Promtail anymore. So what I need to do then is make sure that Promtail is no longer started on my system. So I might start to figure out, where did Promtail come from? Well, there's a few things I can do. ps-ef grep for Promtail, right? And I see, okay, Promtail was started with this command. And it's the process that started it was the parent process ID is 1, which is systemd. So I might have, if I do a systemctl grep-i for prom, I may find, there's the Promtail service. It's loaded, it's active, it's running. So I may say, okay, we don't want to run this anymore. Systemctl status Promtail, and I see the status, and maybe I disable it and I mask it so it can no longer start again on the system. And then once I do that, once I've masked that Promtail service, I know that unless somebody comes along and unmasks it, nobody can ever start Promtail on the service again. Well, systemd will never start Promtail again until we unmask that service. Even if you remove it and reinstall it, it will not be allowed to run if it's masked. You say this is masked, systemctl. So I would go like this, systemctl stop Promtail, and I would do systemctl mask Promtail, and then failed to mask unit. It already exists, so failed to mask unit. It already exists. I should be able to just mask it like that. It's kind of weird. Are you telling us you could mess up the monitoring with this? Yes, you could turn that. You could technically turn that service off, but if I reboot the server, it'll come back. Yeah, but you would just normally systemctl mask it, and then it says it's already there. So then in that case, if that was happening, probably because it's in etc systemd system, then I'm going to have to assume that it's because this is a manual location and masking only works on things that are down in the like lib user type stuff. So then I would tell you this is what you would do. You would just say move that over to like systemctl daemon reload, and then we would do a status again on like Promtail service, and it wouldn't be there anymore because we got rid of it. Yeah, I think that conference could be really good for some of you guys. I think that conference would be good for me, and I don't even work in that space right now. I mean, I do security stuff, but I mean, I'm not just doing that attack.miter stuff has been around for 50 years for like kill chain and how systems get compromised and stuff like that. So there's some really good stuff there for you guys. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I've been on, actually I'm about to hit 1 hour. We're gonna go find somebody to raid here in a few minutes. But what I want you guys to think about, if you are gonna come to the class in an hour, you know, go read. I might start having, this is one thing I don't do that I always do in college, is I have stuff for you guys to do that's like pre-work. Raid the conference. Yeah, Xshunyum, we're definitely thinking of going out to the SC Linux one. What is it called? The Scale conference in California. I'm definitely trying to get as many people to go out to that next year. I think it's about 6 months from now. Oh, and there's a call for papers. So one of our guys has been going out there for a while, Robodom, and he's met up with some different people. But they just did there's a P99 conf coming up too. That's free as well. So the 23rd and 24th, pretty packed. 22nd, 23rd. You guys could go to a lot of free conferences. eBPF, I think, just happened. He might have it down in volunteering. Hold on, where did he put it? Volunteer hack or opportunity hack is coming up too. I've tried to get this guy. I've known this guy since like 2009, 2010, and I've tried to get him to come. The owner of OHack, the guy who runs this. I'm trying to get him to come and talk to you guys, but I guess maybe he's too busy. But next weekend is opportunity hack. If you guys want to go sign up for that, that's also free. Yeah, so scale is in Pasadena. Where did you put it, Robodom? Where did you put it for like volunteers? I don't see, because I know you put the other day that they had a call for paper, a call for papers. So is it in conferences? I don't think we've been putting too much stuff. Here's the call for presenters. So if you guys want to present on a topic, the call for presenters ends, deadline is November 1st. So you've got till the end of this month. So if you wanted to talk with some people and maybe hash it out down in the Discord, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, or I'd want to talk about this. There's cloud native, there's developer stuff, there's embedded Linux. Somebody mentioned embedded Linux earlier. There's free and open source, FOSS, free and open source software at home. And then there's general. And the one that I thought about doing was open government. And it's like using Linux, and then it's era of open government transparency and using government data. So it's civic. I would fall into, I'm not a government employee, I'm a contractor, but I could be called a civic tech enthusiast. I can be called an amateur data scientist, and I'm a private citizen, right? But you can leverage publicly available data sets whenever you want. Swiss government has mandated FOSS. Interesting, Shunyum. I didn't know that. There is, by the way, data.gov. If you want to go access data sets that the U.S. government curates, there are a tremendous amount of them here, and you can pull them down via API or CSV or all kinds of different ways. Also, another data set, another great place to get data is Kaggle. Go to Kaggle, and Kaggle will let you download all kinds of data sets that are out there. You're just realizing now that Robodom's a real person, yes. Yeah, Robodom's real. He's been with us a long time. Then there's also all these other events for people that are interested in whatever else. But the point is, a call for papers is like if you want to go talk to a group of something interesting that you've done. And I would probably use the open government stuff for some of my, probably maybe as like a initial pass of some of like my doctorate work. I might show some of that stuff. So, all right. Anyways, this is again just a kind of thing to get you guys thinking. You guys can drop down in the Discord. You guys can go hang out with other like-minded people. We're almost to 3,000 people, right? And the server, the stated goal of the Professional Linux Users Group is to get you guys from being amateurs and being hobbyists and people that just like doing this to making you professionals, getting you guys ready to go do this stuff professionally. Look, we're up to 190 people say they're coming. Now, even if we only get, half of that, that's still a lot of people. Oh, thanks for that, Computer Yogi. I appreciate the Prime. You can use it anywhere, but you choose to use it here. Hopefully you don't have any ads for a whole month now, and hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Like, my goal in doing all this, again, is getting you guys doing this stuff. The Discord is always free. There's like a monetization option on Discord, but I wouldn't even want to spend the time figuring that crap out. So it's always going to be free. All of our stuff is down here in Prolog projects. Some people are taking really good notes, and I hope a lot of people are really learning good stuff about kind of yourselves out of there. So, all right. So let's go find somebody to raid. There's Ranger Dog. I'm going to find somebody to raid on the Twitch side of things. On the YouTube side of things, I can't help you. But you guys are welcome to just hang out down the Discord. Let's see, who am I following here? We will go raid, we're going to go raid Sid. We like Sid. Sid does a lot of electronics and soldering, and he does a lot of sound stuff. But my favorite reason for raiding him is because he will always yell raid. And he does it with, oh, look at poor Ranger Dog. Man, we love Ranger, guys. Ranger is a good dog. But we'll start the raid over there. Make sure you guys raid with our what's our command? It's like raid rage or angry Linux or whatever that is. So I'll see some of you guys in about an hour and a half down in the Discord, and the rest of you guys I will talk to you whenever I see you. Take care.